Good morning, gentlemen. Sun Sounds of Arizona is a reading service for blind and reading-impaired people. And John, you have participated with us a couple of times before. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Rich. We're doing fine up here. How about yourself?
Very good. First, the commander of the station, Sergei Krikalev, I'd like to ask you, what is the status of the space station right now?
It is in good health. It's ready to perform all tasks we needed, and we are waiting actually for shuttle. Just a few days ago, we redocked service from one docking port to another to make our EA available when we need it. But next big task for us is to make shuttle.
John, the two of you have done a great job of maintaining the space station. How will the visit of the Shuttle Discovery astronauts assist in maintaining the station?
Well, first off, they're going to bring us a lot of new stuff, a lot of supplies, a big, beautiful laboratory rack for human research experiments here in our laboratory, and replace a lot of things that basically just need replacing. And perhaps more important to us on a day-to-day basis, they're going to take a lot of stuff down with them. We have, right now, the place is looking kind of cluttered, and partly that's because we've packed expecting them to arrive, so we get everything sort of hanging on the walls waiting for them. But we expect to send a lot of stuff down with the shuttle, which will help clear the place out. And another thing is that they will bring up a platform that will be mounted on the outside of the space station to accommodate spare parts that will be needed, external spare parts that are installed by spacewalkers that will never come inside the station, but need to sit out on a platform and be powered and kept warm. So they're going to be bringing up that kind of equipment, which will help us maintain the station in the future. And maybe the most important thing of all is that they're bringing up a new gyroscope for us. We use an array of 4 gyroscopes to keep the station in attitude, and right now we've got 2 of the 4 running. 1 more is fixable and 1 needs to be replaced, and they will fix the one and replace another.
What are your thoughts of the question for either of you, your thoughts on the 6-month-long assignments to the space station? Should they be shorter or longer, and why?
I have already several long-duration missions, and from my point of view, 6 months flight is about right. If you fly for 2 or 3 months, most of the time you will be still on learning curve. If you fly longer than 6 months, then tiredness may be in effect. So I think 6 months is very close to optimal for station long-duration flight.
Yeah, Rich, this is my first long-duration flight, and I agree with Sergei, though. 6 months is about right. We were originally scheduled a couple of years ago to come up here for about 4.5 months. And now that we've been up here over 3 months, to me, a 4 or 5 month mission seems a little short, and 6 seems about right.
Sergei, you were on the first space station, Expedition 1 in 2000. What do you think of the station now in 2005 as compared to then?
We certainly have more equipment, more hardware, and as John said, some of this hardware is actually waiting to get down to Earth. So the station looks more cluttered than it was during Expedition 1. But potentially we have more capabilities.
We're speaking with the Expedition 11 crew aboard the International Space Station. John, could you share with us what a common day's schedule is aboard the space station?
Okay, well, typically I get up at about 6:30 in the morning, and I join Sergei for breakfast around 7 or a little afterwards. And in that time before breakfast, I do some preparation for the day. I look at the schedule and I prepare some tools that I need. And then we have a little breakfast, and we talk to the mission control centers in the U.S. and Russia. And then we go to work, and we work till 6:30 in the evening with a break for lunch. and we do scientific experiments, repair and maintenance, preparation for visiting vehicles, work of that sort. And then we also do about 2 to 3 hours of exercise, typically about 2 hours of exercise during that time. Then we have another conference with the Mission Control Centers, have some dinner, and usually try to grab a couple hours of either preparation for the next day in some cases, or in some cases a little personal time for talking with family, for email, for reading, and that sort of thing in the evening. And then I'm usually in bed, say 11:30 or so.
Well, John Phillips, who hails from Scottsdale, Arizona. John, a quick weather report here. We've been consistently in the 113-degree range, and the air conditioner even went out at home, which I'm sure you get shudders thinking about. Speaking of that, how is your environmental controlling up there? How does it maintain constant temperature, and what might that temperature be?
Now where I'm standing, the temperature is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pleasant enough that you can go around in shorts and a t-shirt if you tend to like cool weather, or if you like it a little warmer, then you wear a long sleeve shirt and trousers. It's very comfortable. It never rains or snows up here, and we don't have any dust storms. We've got good filtration systems, and we've got good scrubbing of carbon dioxide and replenishment of oxygen, and a thermal control system that uses radiators on the outside and liquid, basically water loops on the inside, sort of like water heating in a house, that keep the temperature very comfortable and keep the air fairly dry. It's typically around 45% relative humidity. Not as dry as Arizona, but a lot drier than Houston.
When a Progress supply ship is scheduled to launch, does the crew have any input as to what comes up on the Progress vessel, and typically what kind of supplies do come up?
It brings up large quantities of consumables, and that's not only boxes of food, but also oxygen, air, water, and rocket fuel. We do have some input into our menus, into the food, but not into the water and rocket fuel and air and oxygen. And then it brings up scientific equipment and just sort of general supplies and replacement items. And we have some small input into that. We can bring up small amounts of personal equipment. And of course, we're constantly talking with the people on the ground, telling them this needs to be fixed, or we need more of these or less of these. So we have some input, but not, I wouldn't say we have direct control, except in the case of personal items and food menus.
And of course, as John said, we have kind of feedback on consumables, because something we use slower than ground count, and in order to prevent sending more towels, for example, we report to the ground and ask them bring less one kind of supply and little more other kind. That's kind of influence we have.
What do you both miss most from home as you orbit the Earth?
Well, I miss my family most of all. I also miss certain kind of food and beverages. I wouldn't mind a hot shower now and then, since we don't have any hot showers up here. And I also miss weather. I miss not only good weather, not only beautiful days, but I even miss the bad weather. I wouldn't mind having it hot and humid one day, like the Houston summer, or having a little snow now and then. Because here it's always the same every day.
Well, before I conclude our conversation, John, when you get back to Arizona, let's go to a ball game. You can smell the grass, hear the crack of a bat, and I'll buy you a hot dog and a beer, something you can only get on planet Earth.
That sounds really good. I wouldn't mind doing that. Watch the Astros from Houston play the Diamondbacks again. That'll be a lot of fun.
Well, gentlemen, we thank you for your thoughts. Our best wishes for your mission and for your safe return to Earth. Godspeed from Some Sounds of Arizona.
Very much, Rich.
Thank you. До свидания.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you, Sun Sounds of Arizona.
Thank you.
Station, we're now ready to resume operational space-to-ground communications.